Quentin Tarantino is one of the most unique, respected, and talented directors alive, and has made many of my personal favourite movies, so naturally I wanted to make a list of my own top 5 Tarantino movies.
Well, I'll be double dog damn!
At number 5 is a two-way tie between Reservoir Dogs and The Hateful Eight. Reservoir Dogs is his first movie, and Hateful Eight is his latest movie, which is kind of cool now that I think about it. The reason that I put these two as a tie is because they're very similar in that both these movies have a lot of characters, and Tarantino manages to balance every character and give them something unique while still being able to show who the main characters really are and giving them a chance to shine. Also, both these movies are set in sort of a small room or a building, which gives them a much more contained a tone and a contained feeling. So, the plot is also very similar, trying to find out who the bad guy is, while they're all in the same room, which gives for a very suspenseful and character-driven, dialogue-driven movie. Reservoir Dogs has got great performances by the whole cast, especially Harvey Keitel and Tim Roth, and it also gives us one of the most iconic and, violent Tarantino scenes in the ear-cutting scene.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall off my chair, and I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you. And I'm wondering what it is I should.
The Hateful Eight, on the other hand, also has great performances from the cast, as well as standouts from Sam Jackson, Kurt Russell, and Jennifer Jason Leigh. It's also a western, which is just great. Number 4 is Tarantino's homage to the kung fu genre. Kill Bill's Volume 1 and 2, Tarantino counts them as one movie, so I'm going to count them as one movie. Kill Bill is, an action-packed adrenaline rush with amazing characters, especially the bride herself, who's one of cinema's most iconic characters, played flawlessly by Uma Thurman. It also has one of the best action set pieces in cinema history, in my opinion, which, the Crazy 88 fight. It's absolutely amazing. It's a great action movie with great dialogue, great characters as well, while managing to still be very unique and heavily stylized. Number 3 is the first Tarantino movie I ever saw. Django Unchained had me hooked from beginning to end, with amazing performances by Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, and of course Leonardo DiCaprio himself, who plays an amazing villain. I mean, who knew? Although the western setting and the action are incredible. My favourite part of the film was the partnership between Django and Dr. King Schultz. Both actors deliver Tarantino dialogue perfectly, and you really feel invested in them, so that when the bad things happen to them and the shit goes down, there's a lot more weight to it because you actually care about these characters, which I love. Also, Leo DiCaprio cut himself really badly while filming this.
Hey! Now lay your palms flat on that tabletop. If you lift those palms off that turtle shell tabletop, Mr. Pooch is gonna let loose with both barrels that sawed off. There have been a lot of lies said around this dinner table here tonight, but that you can believe. Mr. Moody, would you be so kind as to collect the pistol hanging off these boys' hips here?
And you know, if you bleed for a film, that just shows how committed you are and how dedicated you are. Also, this line.
I like the way you die, boy.
I feel like when I say my number 2, most of you will be able to predict my number 1. Most of you will disagree with my choice, but this is my list and my preferences, which is why my number 2 is Pulp Fiction. I love this movie, but obviously not as much as I love my number 1. It's a classic with endless memorable scenes and flawlessly written dialogue. I mean, watching John Travolta and Sam Jackson talk about burgers and foot massages is 100 times more interesting than any Michael Bay explosion. You know, this just goes to show that not only is Tarantino a talented director, but he is also one of the most innovative and creative writers in, you know, probably cinema history. The dancing scene is also a personal favourite of mine, which I've implemented in many Flick Fanatics videos. Now, a lot of people seem to forget that Bruce Willis is in this, and, well, he doesn't really get mentioned that much, which is absolutely crazy because, well, because of this scene. Guys, Pulp Fiction is a classic. You know, it's everything you want in a Tarantino movie. But ultimately, number 1 is none other than Inglorious Bastards. The film is littered with iconic scenes. You have one of the most masterfully made opening scenes of all time, in the sort of relaxed yet suspenseful talk between Tarantino's best character Hans Landa and the milkman guy Monsieur Lapidie. You want to know which kinds of movies give you a sense of relaxation and tension at the same time? The best kind.
You know how many foods are shaped like dicks? The best kinds.
You also have the introduction to Aldo Rain, played awesomely and hilariously by Brad Pitt himself.
And through our cruelty, they will know who we are. And they will find the evidence of our cruelty in the disemboweled, dismembered, and disfigured bodies of their brothers we leave behind us. And the German won't be able to help themselves. But imagine the cruelty their brothers endured at our hands, and our boot heels, and the edge of our knives. And the German will be sickened by us, and the German will talk about us, and the German will fear us. And when the German closes their eyes at night, and they're tortured by their subconscious for the evil they have done, it will be with thoughts of us that they are tortured with. Sound good?
Yes, sir!
You have the baseball bat scene.
She's definitely killing juice.
Which, you know, and you have the bar scene with one of my favourite actors, Michael Fassbender, making his big movie debut playing a British spy. This is the role that made me want him to play James Bond. And the bar scene itself, funny and showcased Tarantino's signature small talk dialogue, while subtly building tension and releasing it into a big burst of action.
Now, about this pickle we find ourselves in. It would appear there's only one thing left for you to do.
And what would that be?
Stiglitz.
See auf Wiedersehen to your Nazi boss.
also have this scene where Aldo and his men masquerade as Italian filmmakers, which was absolutely hilarious.
Lomi? Per cortesia, me lo ripeti ancora?
Gorlami.
Mi scusi, con me?
Gorlami.
Ancora una volta.
Gorlami.
E come si chiama lei?
Antonio Margareti.
Ancora?
Margareti.
Un'altra volta, ma adesso vorrei proprio sentire la musica delle parole.
Margareti.
Margheriti. E lei?
Dominic De Coco.
Come?
Dominic De Coco.
Bravo, bravo.
And, you know, it's leading to one of my favorite endings in any movie ever.
You know something, you Rich? I think this just might be my masterpiece.
You know, he said it himself. This is Tarantino's masterpiece. Inglorious Bastards is one of my favorite movies, one of the best movies I've ever seen. You know, that's why it's number one. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please